Welcome back. Today we're finishing that subframe. So, welcome back. My name's Mouse, welcome to Smoking Retros. Today we are actually going to hopefully finish this rear subframe. I've actually got a wheel thrown on it now. I know I've got to cut the arches out, but the plan is for today to get it all tacked up nice and firmly, throw the front subframe back on, get the front all put back together and in with the wheels on it, and same for the rear. So I've got to throw a few more tacks on the back, and I want to make the cage to go over the rear arches so it's a bit stronger. So it's going to be a long day of fabrication, cutting, grinding and welding. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get cracking. So, what you've just seen me do is just make some little spacer plates. Basically, where we've got to weld onto the subframe, there's quite a big gap. As good as I am at welding, I ain't jumping that gap. This will add a bit of reinforcement to it, and then there'll be a bracket placed over it, so it'll be nice and solid. So we're going to weld these in. We're not tacking these in. We'll probably weld these in, and then we'll tack the plates on top. Let's get cracking. So, as the nature of building a custom car is, apparently one side fits just, I've got to remake a bracket. So I'll remake the bracket on the other side because it's going to interfere. But the other side doesn't fit apparently, as you just saw. So I'm going to have to take a few minutes to think about what it is I've got to do, because this side, the driver's side, seems to fit in the central. Passenger side doesn't fit and it's still central. So I'm unsure because the wheel arch on the passenger side looks like it's been redone. Now I know I'm cutting it out, but before I start welding big chunks of metal in and getting it all tacked in place, I want to make sure I'm actually right before I start doing it. I've welded them little spaces in, but take 30 seconds to cut them off because they're in quite a nice place. So I'm hoping we don't have to adjust anything. I'm hoping it's just simply cut the wheel arch out, drop the subframe, make new brackets. Not what I needed today. But let's crack on with it, see what we come up with. So, you know when I was saying that I think it's just that wheel arch that's causing a problem, and no. even to our measurements off the vehicle and everything else we measured, we're still 5mm out on the one side. So yeah, I can't get the wheel on at all. So the other side, we know it looked like it was catching. It doesn't quite catch, but there is a bit of play in the spacer. So now what we're doing is we're taking more measurements to try and figure out where we figured out it's 5mm difference. So it's 10mm, but obviously you split it, so it's 5mm difference. So after spending the last 20 minutes to half an hour chatting and trying to figure out something, apparently the mounts actually on the car, where the bar goes, aren't the same. So we're thinking that's where we've got our 5mm difference. So we're going to throw the rear subframe back in with the old Metro wheels on, spaced out. I'm going to throw it back on, put it on, and then we're going to run datum lines or string lines or something from the front to the rear. We might put the front subframe in and use the front subframe because we know that's fixed. But what we're going to do now is going to throw the rear subframe back in with some wheels on. It'll have wheels on, but that'll be about it. Right then, so after a while of scratching our heads and trying to figure out what's going on, the car looks right, the wheels look right, yeah, what's going on? Something not right here. It's because the car's not level. Because we use string lines, obviously if the car's not level, as my step does, just it pivots, so it could be perfectly straight like that, and then the car's sitting like that, so this side's closer than this side. So it could say that this side's 50 and this side's 50, but it's not, because it's not sitting level. So we've figured that's what's wrong with it. It is 10mm out, so we are going to remove it from the car, cut it up into little pieces and ship it to a scrapyard. No, we won't really. Well, we're going to drop it back out and then we're going to cut it and move it 5mm over. So let's get pulling it back out. So that's all in now. I'm gonna throw some more tacks on it so it's nice and secure, and then we'll go from there. So that's everything back to where it was this morning. So now what I'm going to do, there's some brackets that are currently in the way, so I'm just going to cut them off and put a bit of a seam weld on them so I know they're not going to go anywhere, and then we'll crack on with the rest. super thrilled with that. She's actually sitting on her own wheels, on her own, literally on her own. She's sat on bump stops at the minute, obviously the coilovers aren't in, just waiting on tap arms on them. But apart from that, I'm super happy with that. So I think it's time to move to the front and get the front on. Let's get cracking. So that's the front subframe back together. So now I'm just waiting on my stepdad to come and give me a lift in whilst we're fixing my brother's car, because his has got duff shoes. But we'll be right back. I really wish I knew what I was doing. So, we've got a few issues. It's not, obviously, putting 16-inch rims on the front of a Metro is more complicated than putting 16-inch rims on the back of a Metro. So obviously, I can't remember who it said, but someone said something about bump steer. We've got a lot of it. It'll go full lock, but obviously it's catching the arches, and that's on bottom end of travel. So it may just be the fact, like we've put a 5mm spacer roughly behind that, and it's moved it a bit, but just not enough. And I really don't want to keep pushing past spacer and spacer and spacer. It's not the solution. I think what we're going to have to actually do is cut into these chassis rails. We're going to have to brace the car, but we can't really do, we're just throwing a couple of theories out there in a minute. We've just tried putting the wing on and see if there's room behind it for some box section. I have no idea why. So we're going to move, we're just going to have a play with other things for now. We'll get it to fit. We're going to get it to fit. It's on there, she's sitting on her own wheels. It sits on its ass on the front though. So we're going to have to lift the back a bit and keep the front down. So when the top arms come, which should be sometime this week, I hope, we can actually crack on putting these coilovers in. But the rear is done, which I'm super happy about. The front is on, which I'm happy about. She looks amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play with a few more theories and mess around with it a bit, and then probably call it a day. So we'll be right back with you. So, we are done. We've taken some measurements, we've thrown around a couple more ideas. I didn't put it on camera, it was just basically talking standard, talking with a bit of steel in our hands. We figured out a solution for the front. It'll actually look quite gnarly from the inside. And we've also figured out a solution for the rear coilovers. As the top arms aren't here, we can't actually do anymore, so we're just waiting on them top arms. So fingers crossed they'll be here by next Saturday. He was meant to be taking them off and sending them to me Thursday or Friday, so I'm hoping they get to me in the middle of the week. If not, we will have to do something else. We'll figure something else out. So, thank you very much for watching. If you like the videos, please feel free to like, drop a comment, and feel free to share it as well. The more people it gets out to, the more I can keep going with these projects. I've got another one in mind which I think might entertain you lot. Don't really want to tell you, but if I can get my own way, it'll either involve a Subaru or a Mitsubishi. So, I might give you some inklings of what we're going to do. Some of you at work will know what I'm talking about because it was one of your ideas. So, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, drop a like, feel free to comment, and feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.